All right, this is Feathery Homes. Now, maybe think about the title and think about what feathery homes might mean. When I think of feathers, what do I think of? And if I think of homes with feathers, what do I think of? Maybe make some predictions about what this passage will be about. Did you know that there is a kind of bird that can sew? This bird, called the tailor bird, uses its beak as a needle. It sews leaves together in the shape of a cup. Then it lines the cup with straw and lays its eggs there. Each species builds its own special kind of nest. The most common materials used for nests are grasses, twigs, and feathers. A bird must weave these materials into a nest. Imagine building a house without cement or nails to hold it together. A weaver bird builds a nest that looks like a basket. The nest is shaped like a pear with a hole in the middle. The hole is the door of the nest. The oven bird makes a nest that is very solid. The nest is made of mud. Like a sculptor, the oven bird molds the mud into the shape of an oven and then lets it dry in the sun. The sun bakes the mud, making it very hard. Not all birds make their homes in branches. Some birds build their nests on the ground, while others bury their eggs under the ground. And some birds do not build nests at all. For example, a bird called the fairy tern lays its eggs right on a branch. It tiptoes on the branch and balances its eggs very carefully so they won't fall. So when you look for nests and eggs in the branches of trees and bushes, remember that some nests may be right under your feet. So if we go back to the first paragraph, in this first sentence, it says, "Did you know that there is a kind of bird that can sew?" So right away, we know that this passage is going to be about birds. If we know that the title is Feathery Homes, maybe we know that this is going to be about birds' homes, okay? And so this talks about the bird that's called the tailor bird, and it sews leaves together in the shape of a cup to lay its eggs. And then it gets down to the next paragraph talks about different birds, different species build their own special kinds of nests. So hence feathery homes. So we're talking about nests, the little homes where birds lay their eggs. So let's talk about the third paragraph, a weaver bird. It builds a nest that looks like a basket. And then the oven bird in the fourth paragraph, it creates a nest out of mud. It molds the mud into the shape of an oven. And then the last paragraph says not all birds make little nests. They just lay their eggs right on twigs. The fairy tern lays its eggs right on a branch. So when you look back at this whole passage, we're talking about birds and what kind of homes they make. So what kind of nests they build. And we know that we've talked about different species of birds. We've talked about the tailor bird and the weaver bird and the oven bird and the what's it called? I have to even go back. The fairy tern. So we talk about a lot of different types of birds and how they make their homes. So the main idea, some birds build their nests on the ground. Each type of bird builds a special kind of nest, or there are many species of birds. So the main idea should talk about what did we talk about in the whole passage? And then the statement that you're going to mark too broad will be the statement that is not very detailed and it doesn't talk specifically about what the passage goes over. It's too big and broad of a statement. And then the statement that is too narrow is going to be maybe too focused on one detail of the passage. Number 2, this passage centers on A, the many kinds of birds, B, the building of bird nests, C, the oven bird, D, unusual birds. So this is about the subject matter of the passage. What is it mostly about? All right. Number 3, the ovenbird builds its nest of straw, grass, mud, twigs. If you don't remember what the ovenbird uses to build its nest, you need to go back and look for the ovenbird and reread what it builds its nest out of. Number 4, the writer of this passage admires the bright colors of the tailor bird, birds that bury their eggs, the basket-shaped nest of the weaver bird, the effort it takes to build a nest. Number 5, the writer compares the ovenbird to a tailor, sculptor, weaver, carpenter. So you can go back to the passage and reread what the writer compares the ovenbird to, if you don't remember. Number 6, the word molds means weaves, shapes, pours, gathers. Remember, when you have an underlined word, you can go back to your passage and find the word that is underlined and reread the sentence. This one says, like a sculptor, the ovenbird molds the mud into the shape of an oven and then lets it dry in the sun. All right, so when you are ready, you can type your answers in a Google document. For example, you'll type number 2 and then the letter of which you choose for it, and then submit it to me.